But let's talk about a British man who went on holiday to Texas, a mostly peaceful holiday. And, these things happen, one thing leads to another, and suddenly you're holding a synagogue hostage.
Where? Last time you were there, presumably this is what you were doing? Just like every British tourist?
Yes,
Average
a couple
British
of times. And you can enjoy the reporting on this because it's like a painter who's trying to paint something but mustn't paint like certain spots on the image. And so there are just weird gaps in the image. You think, I know there's something there.
You ever seen a map of Berlin during the Cold War?
No.
So if you lived in East Germany and you were given a map of Berlin, there's a huge section in the middle that's just nothing.
Oh, really?
Like just blank.
That's exactly what this is, yeah.
It's because it's West Germany and there's loads of capitalism and money.
Right, and they're not allowed to know about that. So as the Associated Press here, over the weekend, a man took hostages at a synagogue in Fort Worth. A SWAT team was on the scene. It was pretty bad stuff.
The Swedish police reporting there's a man.
Just a man.
Man.
Yeah, a human. We haven't actually checked his gender identity, so maybe they want to consider that a person as apparently taken hostages. And then we started getting some details, and this was from the Telegraph again. A man with English accent.
Call blimey.
Yeah. I was going to say I can't do an English accent then, but
that doesn't really work.
No, I have an English accent, but I can't put one on. By gum. Yorkshireman with flat cap holds rabbi and congregation hostage. A man with an English accent is said to be holding a rabbi in his congregation hostage. Why?
Go up, synagogue, get up, rabbi, take hostage.
Yeah, exactly. Question mark, profit. Like, what? So the angry voice of a man with an English accent was heard through a live Facebook feed. Really, if it's a live Facebook feed, can't you have a look at the guy? He appeared to be repeatedly demanding that negotiators, quote, get my sister on the phone, as well as referring to spending time in England. I mean, a lot of people, that's what all English people say.
Was he bragging? Like...
Yeah, I'm English, I live in England, get wrecked, foreigners.
Aren't you jealous?
Yeah.
Hostages.
I mean, they were, obviously, but like... There's one thing being a hostage, but there's another thing learning I don't live in England.
Also, what's with the sister thing? Like, he's got an AK to the head. He'd be like, call my sister. Get me sister on the line.
Jada! At one point, he could be heard asking, what the F is wrong with America? Oh, bro, it's a long story. He was also heard say, don't cry.
What is that for? Is that for not being able to get his sister on the line?
I don't know. Like, obviously, they were doing something American. And he was just like, what?
He's got the Jews hostage. They're like, can we get Burger King?
He was also heard say, don't cry for me, I'm going to die, shortly before the live stream cut out. It was not clear if the hostage taker had a weapon or what his demands were.
What?
He probably didn't have a license for it. I mean,
he didn't even have a gun. Did he have a knife?
Don't know.
Did he have a license for the knife?
I don't know. He probably filled out the forms. I mean,
if he didn't even have a weapon, what's he got? Like spoons? Like, they would have reported if he'd had a knife.
But the thing is, nobody knew. It was unclear what his demands were as well. So he's just burst in and be like, I hate America. I want to go back to England.
Boy, up against the wall. Don't you know I'm from England?
Yeah,
rubber diggy your appetite.
Well, that's the point, isn't it? Right. So who was this mysterious terrorist? Right, well, he was just a British citizen.
Which English accent did he have?
That's a great question. Somewhere around the Bradford region, I'm guessing. Right. So if we can get to the next one, John, you can see, if you just scroll down, you can see like the breaking news: British citizen. Don't know anything about him other than he's a British
British man. He's from Britain. That's all we know.
Like I say, no particular information. But he was shot dead by the SWAT team after taking people hostage.
One thing I want to notice just before we move on, all of these reports here, they're all saying FBI identifies the suspect. You see, they've identified the hostage taker routinely throughout this. So it's not like they just know, oh, the police have told us he's a man, that's all we've got. Well, they know the name, they know the identity.
They figured out he's British because they were like, look at his teeth.
But they know the name, they know the identity, they've got pictures of him, presumably. And with the headline, every single one of the media went, British man. Just British. Just average guy. Just talking about the tin cans.
Pakistani state media, British man.
Well, if it's Pakistani, it'd be like British hero.
So we've got a picture of the guy and what he looked like.
Yeah.
Bowler hat.
I say, chaps, the
Absolutely.
synagogue needs to go. Where's my sister? Don't you know I come from London?
Yeah. Have these people even been to England before? I mean, God, I wish that was the case, to
What
be
was his
honest.
weapon? His handsome smile.
Yeah. Cutting wit.
I'll step out there.
Anyway, because the next one you see that, again, they're just British man shot dead. Oh, good. We've got lots of information.
I love how British media is even going with British man.
They've got no information at all.
But you could maybe excuse it for the Yankees because they're like, all the same. But
British man, English accent. Oh, very informative.
Yeah.
Anyway, so going to the next one, the Associated Press. Hostages safe, captor dead. Good news.
Captor.
Yeah, captor.
Yeah.
Don't know, you had a live stream. A man held hostage for more than 10 hours at a Saturday at Texas synagogue where he could be heard ranting in a live stream and demanding the release of a Pakistani neuroscientist who was convicted of trying to kill US Army officers in Afghanistan. It's all starting to come together now, isn't it? British man with an English accent goes over to a Texas synagogue and demands the release of a Pakistani neuroscientist terrorist.
I don't think he's from the Southwest.
Someone from the Cotswolds, no doubt. One of the 4 hostages at the Congregation Beth Israel in Colleyville was released during the standoff. 3 others were rescued when the authorities entered the building and the hostage taker was killed. And this was a shooting incident. Apparently, though, this was not focused. This specifically focused on an issue, quote, not directly connected to the Jewish community. Okay.
Nothing to do with Islam is what that sounds like to me.
That's very much like it. The person that the killer was, no, not the killer, sorry, he didn't kill anyone. The hostage taker demanded the release of, we can go to the next one, John, Afia Siddiqui, a Pakistani scientist who had Al-Qaeda ties, was convicted of trying to kill US military officers while in custody in Afghanistan.
So this lady tried to kill military officers, and this guy walks into a synagogue and was like, what, chaps? This lady, this dame in distress, I'm off to help her. Now, call blimey, you better help me out.
The British national was finally identified, if we get to the next one, as Malik Faisal Akram. What a shock.
What up at the Rapids, bro?
What the F is wrong with Americans, bro? Call me sister.
Is it my heart or my brain, bro?
I don't want to die in a boots. What an absolute clown show this turned out to be, right? So the BBC did their best to cover up the fact that this chap was Islamically oriented, should we call it?
A Mohammedan.
Yep. Look at this headline. Texas synagogue hostage taker was British.
He's British.
Best of British.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Thanks, BBC.
He called by God bless the Queen and all that.
Cockney terrorism is on the rise.
He's just as British as you and I.
Exactly. What is this?
It's like, I love how it's framed also almost like nationalism.
Yeah.
Where it's like, didn't you know he was British?
Yeah, look at that. Exactly. It's like they're announcing Olympics record holders.
Yeah.
You know, this is British.
The Empire may be gone, but we're still making our mark on the world.
So
Really?
if you can scroll down and just see the text, right? A man who took 4 hostages at the synagogue was British citizen Malik Faisal Akram, 44. Like, he's 44 years old. He's not even like, if he was 17 or something, I'd be like, right, he's a dumb kid. No, he's 44. Like, this is clearly something he'd thought about, right? All of the congregation were released, which is good. And his brother issued a statement apologizing to the victims. Sorry. Is that okay? He had mental health issues.
No S.
Yeah, clearly. But anyway, so that's how British this is. Gad Saad gets it, which I liked. Please, everybody. Malik Faisal Akram was a British man. If anything radicalized him, it's probably the white supremacy of the British monarchy. Please don't link this man's actions to his beautiful, noble, and peaceful faith. He's British. Precisely.
I love the exclamation point.
It's totally true. He's got it exactly right. Well done, Gad. But anyway, carry on.
If we go to the next link. What's been happening since? Well,
Yeah.
we have the updates with what's been happening since, because the investigation has, of course, taken place. And this is where it gets a bit more serious, because the problems are, of course, real. And
Yes.
the different groups involved in this obviously come from where they come from. And so this is an article...
Blackburn.
Sorry?
From Blackburn, apparently.
Yeah. Wonderful British town. British as they come.
Was.
Maybe. And in here, he says, of course, U.S. officials says that he was demanding the release of Afia Siddiqui. Afia. We're going to go with Afia.
This really is 4-line stuff. It's like, right, I find myself in Texas. I see a synagogue over there. This is how I can get a Pakistani terrorist out of jail.
Yeah. But what I find really funny in this, so she's known as Lady Al-Qaeda because she was named by, what was it, Khalid Sheikh Mohammed as a financier for Al-Qaeda.
Yeah.
And then she left Pakistan and was just mysteriously in Afghanistan a few years later, where then she opened fire on the marshals turning up to arrest her.
Right.
So they shot her in the chest and then treated her, took her hostage, and then have charged her with the shooting, but not with the terrorism offences because they didn't need to.
Has Imran Khan made a statement about this yet? Backing the terrorism.
He didn't yet.
Because that's what I'm expecting him to do.
But she was given 86 years in a Texas prison. So that's why he's gone to America.
Ah, right, okay.
It wasn't just because, cool, blimey.
I'm on holiday, don't know what to do.
Just British men on holiday, what do they do?
Too many Mexicans on the water slide, I guess.
But also the news back home. So the news comes as 2 teenagers were arrested in Manchester on Sunday evening by officers from counter-terrorism policing Northwest as part of the investigation into the attack. And if we go to the next link, you might wonder why the hell this woman has anything to do with anything. If you go back and check the news on the arrest of her and the charging, you can see here an article from the New York Times. The US sees a terror threat. Pakistani see a heroine.
God.
It says more about Pakistan than I think I could ever explain.
Yeah, talk about a self-report.
Suspected of having links to Al-Qaeda, she was convicted by New York court in February of trying to kill American military officers while in custody in 2008 in Afghanistan. Prime Minister Yusuf Raza Ghili, who has described Miss Siddiqui as a daughter of the nation, and the opposition leader, Nasaf Sharif, has promised to push for her release.
I bet Imran Khan puts up a bloody statue of her.
I mean, I do joke with, well, am I joking? Pakistan delenta est quite a lot.
Pretty much.
I mean, come on. When the prime minister is like, this terrorist, she's a lady of the nation.
Daughter of the nation.
She represents us best. And I thought I'd also just look into Blackburn because, well, he comes from there.
Yeah.
I wonder what the local politics are about. This is pure conjecture. Who knows if any of these things are correlated? So I thought I'd just look in Blackburn, Islam, see what comes up. And this came up. Maybe I can. First thing here. So this is Macmillan Northwest. Blackburn Sajin Mosque is hosting an awareness event with Macmillan to tackle some of the taboos around cancer within the community and showcase local support available.
Why are there taboos about cancer in the Muslim community?
There's a men-only event from 1 o'clock to 4.
Yeah, but what's the taboo about cancer?
I don't know. Maybe it's testicular or something. They have the men-only event and then followed by a women's-only event, segregated. Don't know what that's about, but very Islamic. Let's move on. Let's go to the local response because... there should be a link in here, John, a getter link if you can get it up, which is the local response by the local mosques who had something to say.
Oh, I bet that was very progressive.
Yeah. They were deeply saddened, as all of us were. What were they saddened about?
Lack of results.
Sounds that way. So let's get up the first image here. So this is from their Facebook account, Blackburn Muslim Community. Fazl Akram has sadly departed from this temporary world and returned to his creator.
Sadly.
He was the son of Muhammad. Malik Akram and a brother of Gulbar, Malik Nasser Yasser, late Gulsmir Akram. I'm doing my best. These are so foreign.
Yeah.
May the Almighty forgive all his sins and bless him with the highest ranks of paradise. May Allah give strength and patience to his loved ones in dealing with their loss. So he dies. And they're like, may Allah give the patience to his loved ones.
He dies yelling, bloody Americans don't understand how things are supposed to be done.
They've lost a terrorist in the family. This is a tough time for them. We need to come together as a Muslim community and support them. I hope Allah gives him the highest ranks of paradise.
There are many stories circulating in the local community, so please avoid taking part in the sin of backbiting. Let the authorities complete their investigations and have respect for the family and allow them to mourn peacefully.
Right.
Wonderful.
That last paragraph is the most revealing, because if we go to the next image here, this is a big long thing, and I'm not going to read it all, you can read it in your own time, of them saying, sorry, actually, we buggered up, just a mistake, core blimey, how could this happen?
Didn't realise he was in a synagogue threatening to kill a bunch of Jews.
It's a stock-paced response for when one of our members of our beautiful community of peace dies. And I don't buy it. No one buys it. Because if we go back to that original image, you have you mentioning in there that there are stories in the community about what may be going on. Let the police do their investigations into what precisely? The idea that they didn't know. Who buys this? No one buys this. But this is
well, they assume British man in a synagogue being a terrorist, they were like, well, it's not us.
No, they were like, yeah, no, it's one of ours. And also, I hope he gets the highest ranks of paradise. I mean, that's a phrase. That's just someone pointed out on Getter, which is highest ranks of paradise. Who's that reserved for?
Martyrs, yeah. People who die in the service of Islam. Good point. Yeah, good point.
Yes, didn't you know? Anyway, let's go to the other local events there. So if we go to the BBC link, please, John. So the BBC one first. So the local area also has some demographic changes, and as we can see, here's one the local story. Billionaire Isaac Brothers, 5 million landmark Blackburn mosque approval. This is a mega mosque they want to build. A £5 million scheme by the siblings, who recently brought a supermarket giant Asda and faced objections over the height of the minarets and potential noise by the locals. They weren't too happy about that. However, they are to be reassured. The council is on the case. Councillor Phil Riley said it would be an impressive facility which could only enhance the spirit of the town. I hate local council sometimes.
I hate everything about this story now.
The local Democracy Reporting Service said Liberal Democrat councillor Paul Brown raised concerns to the committee about the height of the minaret towers.
That's the problem, Paul. That's the problem. The local Liberal Democrat has are these within safety regulations? Is this quite high? It should not be about 10 meters shorter. No. That's the concern. They're building a mega mosque in an English city, and you're like, yeah, wow, the height of the minaret.
He says the minarets are absolutely far too big.
It's unaesthetically pleasing.
So what is this, Islamic criticism?
Good.
No, the minaret should be shorter according to the Quran.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. The Lib Dems.
We get everything we deserve.
Yes. However, planning manager Gavin Prescott said the proposed 95-foot towers were typical of Islamic architecture.
Yeah, and that's so traditionally British. The Liberal Democrats were like, good point, actually. Yeah.
Islamic architecture, as British as can be.
I withdraw my objection.
As British as the British man in the synagogue.
Unbelievable.
With this Islamic architecture, it obviously reflects the changing face of modern Blackburn. And this will show Blackburn in the new light of a place where there is diversity.
Well, I mean, that happens when you have literally just open borders with 700,000 new people coming to live here every year. That's what happens.
Yeah.
God, I hate this.
Also, just looking up the name, I don't know what else is going on in the local town. If we go to the next one, we can also see a local church, which is to be removed and replaced with a mosque as well.
No, very French.
Kind of just around the corner of where the proposed mega mosque is also going to be. Yeah. So they say in here that St. Chad's was a single-story stone-built building constructed in 1870. Had to be St. Chad, didn't it?
Yeah.
It was later turned into a school and a Sunday school. It is now to be removed because services were discontinued in the late 1970s.
Thanks, boomers.
Yeah. You might think, why the hell am I telling you about local stories? Because it paints a picture. And I think the best piece of footage I have found around Blackburn that paints the picture about this Bri-ish man who went on a Bri-ish stroll is local politics 1997 general election. Let's go to the next link. This is a documentary called Campaign Confessions 2. Very small number of views. And there was a candidate here for the Conservatives. Can't remember her name. And the local politics are entirely centered around Islam. It's entirely, are you for Islam? And if so, you're a good candidate. And we will see that in the subsequent clip.
I take it Labour won this.
Yeah, of course. But she's the Conservative candidate. And this is how, like...
The Conservative candidate. Are you in favour of Islam?
That's the discussion. That's because all politics fundamentally is local, and the local demographics determines that this is going to be the campaign debate, which is how Islam are you?
Yeah.
Yeah. And how did she decide to campaign? Let's play the clip.
In Blackburn, the message from one Labour van prompts decisive action from Geeta Sidhu.
Hello. The Labour Party is going around with a microphone at the moment, saying she's against Islam. She's not Muslim. She's not one of us. Don't vote for her because she's against Islam. And this is making it racist. It's making it personal, particularly considering the fact that my husband actually is Muslim. So we're just going to pull the gloves off. I'm going to get a car and walk around and drive through town telling everybody Jack Straw's a Jew. As a Muslim, I'm going to vote for someone who's Jewish. That's it. That's what happened, and that's what we're going to do about it. Yodi ko vote mat do, Jack Straw Yodi hai. Logo ko vote dena hai, Yodi ko vote dena hai. Yodi Musliman ke dushman hai. Yodi ko vote mat do. Saat mein khane de. Safed kagaz de, saat mein khane de, nishan lagao. Yodi ko vote mat. I didn't want racism and bigotry to play a part in anything that I had anything to do with. I object strenuously to it. I did it because I was furious. So, I must admit, I wish I hadn't done
it. Face! Sorry for people listening. She was driving in her car, shouting in Urdu, Jack Straw is a Jew, don't vote for a Jew because the Jews are the enemies of Muslims. That was her campaigning tactic.
What
in
percentage of the vote did she get?
25% of the vote. She ran on a platform of my opponent's a Jew. Muslims can't vote for Jews. She got 25% of the vote.
And what's the percentage of Muslims in Blackburn?
35%.
So most Muslims in Blackburn may well have been like,
I don't know, but
she has a point.
that's the local politics. That's the local area in which the British man came from before he went on his stroll to a synagogue.
Notice how we're constantly saying, it's Tony Blair who did all this. Well, in 1997, before Tony Blair had really done his dirty work, Blackburn still, huge number of, the politics of Blackburn still revolve around Islam.
Yeah, I totally agree. Every Home Secretary who allowed to have even diplomatic relations with Pakistan is also to blame.
If you want to see more from the podcast of the Lotus Eaters, you can go to lotuseaters.com to enjoy all of the premium content we have on the site, such as this premium article by me, exploring how inclusivity is in fact the most exclusionary belief system of all time. If you prefer to listen to our articles rather than read, we have an audio track recorded by our external reader, John Crow, available to Silver Tier members. You can get access to all of our premium content with a Bronze Tier membership for just £5 a month. If you'd like to stay up to date with all the content we're putting out on the site, you can follow Lotus Eaters on Getter as well at getter.com. You can also follow our individual writers and presenters, such as Harry here. Thank you and goodbye.